This is the Mitek Monthly Executive Summary Overview. Mitek has developed a comprehensive report that provides an overview of the services and interaction between Mitek and you, our customer. This video will cover the components of this report. Every month you will receive an email, and in the subject line of that email you will first see your company name, a hyphen, followed by Executive Report Summary generated for your company name by Leif Wildenberg. In the body of the email, you will have two links. The first link will take you to the report that was generated for you, and the second link will take you to this same training video. On the first link, once you click it, it will open a browser and it will bring you right into the report. Let's get into the components of the report. First, we have IT investment this year. This gauge depicts the investment that you have made in your IT. The graph is categorized into four categories. First, we have managed services. That's your monthly reoccurring dollars spent on IT support services. Second, time and materials. This is the monthly spend on IT services that are not covered under your support plan. Project, monthly spend on IT services on project-based work. And finally, product. This is the monthly spend on IT products that includes hardware, software, and licensing. You'll note that each bar has a drill down. You can drill down to get the details on specifically what those dollars represent. Another thing to note, it looks kind of messy, and if you want to just focus on one or two or any one of these specific categories, you can click on the legend to remove them so you can then focus specifically on, for this example, just your time and materials costs. And again, drill down as you see fit. To bring everything back, simply click and it repopulates. So let's scroll down to the next gauge. The next two actually are all devices and all device details. First, in all devices, this gauge depicts the devices that Mitek has discovered on the client network. Each device is classified into three different classes. First, Managed Pro. These are devices under the Mitek Full Managed program. Managed Lite, these are devices under which Mitek Management program is either limited management functions or that the client is given direct instruction to reduce the device management functions based on a business requirement. And third, unmanaged, excluded, or not imported. These are devices that have been discovered, but we have explicit instructions to not manage, or Mitek has not been contracted to manage, such as an IP phone or a multifunction printer, etc. All devices detail is the same information but in a table format. And again, you'll note here you can drill down whether it's here or here. I'll show you. For example, on here, the drill down, I might want to look at what these servers are. So all you have to do for the drill downs is just click in the information. It will pull up the detail and you have the specific information. When you're ready to go back to the report, simply click on the X and it takes you right back into the report. Let's scroll down. Unsupportable devices. This section will show you in this gauge, it will depict the devices that Mitek has discovered on your network and have been identified as unsupportable. For example, Microsoft has stopped supporting Windows XP and Windows 2003 servers. Mitek's management platform cannot effectively manage these devices, and all work is on a best effort basis and may not be covered under the client current support plan. Again, if there were information here, you could drill down and see what those devices are. Next, we have Managed Services Program. This gauge simply displays the Mitek program that you have enrolled in. Service Summary. These three pieces. The first one, you have currently the number of tickets open at the time the report was generated. Secondly, the number of tickets that were open last month. And finally, the number of tickets that were closed last month. Next, you have number of tickets response target met. This displays the number of tickets that has met your response target. You will notice in the spot here below to find the response target based on your program. So up here we state your program could be Essentials 9x5. You note down here that your response target for Essentials 9x5 is 4 business hours. And next we have number of tickets response target not met. This displays the number of tickets that have failed to meet the response target. Please note that the response target is a target and there are factors that may affect Mitek's ability to meet the response target. A ticket is considered responded to by our service team when a tech is assigned to work on a ticket. In some cases, we may be waiting on the client in order to assign a resource to work on the issue. Finally, here, number of tickets, same-day resolution. This gauge shows the number of tickets in the previous month that MyTech resolved the issue in the same day the ticket was submitted. Moving down, average time to respond in minutes. This gauge shows the average time to respond by day over the past month. You may notice the graph spike over the weekend if your program does not cover weekend support. Points of the graph have drill down capabilities to help identify actual tickets and actual details. So again, you could drill down. Let's move down. Top 10 active users. This gauge displays the top 10 employees that have submitted tickets to MyTech in the previous month. If there are not 10 employees listed, the gauge is displaying only the employees that have submitted tickets in the previous month. Each data point has the ability again to drill down to see the ticket details. Top 10 submitters by hours logged previous month. This gauge displays the top 10 employees that have submitted tickets and display the hours logged on those tickets. So this user had this many hours on tickets. Moving down, tickets by priority. This gauge displays the tickets that were submitted to MyTech and the priority that was assigned by the customer when the ticket was submitted or when it was triaged by MyTech service coordinators. The priority statuses are self-explanatory. With the exception, if you see one that's QR, that stands for quick response. The QR status is typically used when the request has been identified to take 10 minutes or less to resolve. Let's move down to ticket by source. This gauge displays the origination point of a ticket. Tickets can be submitted through different mechanisms to the MyTech team. First, we have phone. This is if a ticket has been raised by calling into the support desk. Email connector. These are tickets that have been raised from sending an email to help@mytech.com. Portal. These are tickets that have been submitted through your desktop application or what we call our MyTech Help Center. Internal, which is not shown here, are tickets that have been generated by a MyTech staff member. RMM, which is also not shown here, a ticket would be generated by our monitoring and management platforms. Email, these are tickets that have come in via email but not submitted through the help at MyTech. So just an email that got routed through. Open versus closed tickets. This gauge shows the number of open and closed tickets on a daily basis for the previous month. Typically, the number of open and closed tickets will be very similar on any given day. Reactive tickets, open by type. This gauge shows all tickets submitted by the customer and the classification of the type of issue the ticket was identified as by the MyTech support team. Only the classifications that were used will be represented in the gauge. Again, as shown earlier, if you want to just focus on any one of those, you can certainly remove and clean up your gauge and then drill down appropriately. To bring it back, again, I'll just click, and you can click down into the detail to pull up the actual tickets. Proactive ticket by type. This gauge shows all tickets submitted by MyTech on behalf of the customer from our internal systems and processes by classification of the type of issue the ticket was identified as by the MyTech support team. Only the classifications that were used will be represented in the gauge. So again, if you want to clean these up, some of these are very thin to click on, so you can remove some of the other things to make them larger. Okay? So I will go back, drill down again into each of the tickets. Managed servers and managed workstations and managed thin clients are all set up here. The gauge is meant as just a simple reminder of the number of devices that MyTech is managing for the next few sections of this report. So here and here and here. Server AV status and workstation AV status. This gauge shows the number of servers and the antivirus status of the machines at the time the report was running. True means that the antivirus product is up to date. False means the antivirus on that machine is not on the current version. And empty means we are not able to determine the current state of antivirus on the machines, or the machine has not been online or checked in within the last 7 days. Note, there can be some anomalies in the AV report system because machines were not turned on during the reporting period. Server and workstation patch status. This gauge shows the current Microsoft patch status of the client machines under the MyTech Management Program. Server CPU utilization trending. The gauge here shows the CPU trend for each server under management for the past 7 days. You can always clean it up if it's difficult to read by clicking again on each of these to turn them off on the gauge to see less detail. Scrolling down, server virtual memory utilization trending. Same thing. This gauge shows the virtual memory trend for each server under management for the past 7 days. Again, clean it up by unselecting on the legend. Server physical memory utilization trends. This gauge shows the physical memory trend for each server under management as well for the past 7 days. Server disk space usage. This chart will show all the server disk volumes and the percentage of capacity filled, sorted by the highest usage first. If a volume is over 92% utilized, it will be flagged red. Over 85, it'll be flagged yellow, and under 85%, it will be flagged green. Customer CSATs. This gauge will show the total number of positive, neutral, and negative CSAT response in the previous month. If no CSAT data displays for a category, then no CSAT response was submitted for that category. Customer CSAT response. This chart displays the CSAT responses from the previous month. The gauge is limited to the last 25 responses due to the report size, and MyTech can always provide a full list of these responses upon request. Scroll down a little farther. I hope this video was helpful. Should you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you very much for your time.